Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. With the World Championship just around the corner, there are still many questions on the table. What's going to happen with the New York subliners? Could Clayster potentially come back into that team? Do they even want him? But also, what happens with Huke from Los Angeles Thieves next season? Intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. If you else on the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, wanted to mention this, $100,000 North American Challenger Finals is ongoing right now. 32 teams in a very similar format, to be honest, than what we used to have back in the World Championship pre-CDL era. 32 teams in attendance. They do, I'm pretty sure, like 8 groups of 4. The top 2 teams go through. The bottom 2 teams in all the groups go out. So yesterday, this is what Method says, Challengers Champ starts today. He's getting ready to go. But yeah, the bottom 2 teams in those groups go out. And as Parasite therefore says, 16 teams got eliminated today. Their Cold War year is over. Tomorrow, 8 more go. It's going to be a battle. Good night, as he says. So certainly be keeping you guys updated on what's going on over there, because a fair amount of money to win, right? Like, these guys have been grinding this entire year, and well, obviously it's a difficult time to actually make a decent living in the challenger scene. You're obviously looking for a pro league spot if you actually want to cash in, but still, this is a good opportunity for some of these players to make a fair bit of cheddar. There's no doubt about that. Wanted to mention this, who came out and said, well, it's actually yesterday, being at stage 5, but we saw some images of him in the crowd, right, with skies and the like, and it was cool to see, to be honest. And of course, his stage 4 major didn't end so well with the whole test that happened, and things went pretty south for Los Angeles Thieves at that event when Drazah had to kind of come in last minute. And since then they made the change. It didn't seem like Kenny was pretty much the entire team didn't seem like they're very happy with Huke's pretty significant mistake he made at that event, and therefore everything went wrong for that team. They then bring in John initially, and honestly they've been looking better as of late, right? These last couple of weeks they certainly have looked probably the best they've looked in a fair while as a team. And yeah, still maybe they're on the cusp of doing something. The difficulty is, of course, they're going to be in losers for the World Championship, so they're going to have quite the run to make. There's no doubt about that. And of course, where does Huke go next season, right? That is a massive question mark, as he says. Seeing how amazing the crowd was really gets me excited for the next time I am up there, hopefully soon. Also, shout out everyone I took pictures with. Appreciate you all. So, interesting, right? Because when Huke was initially benched off this team, lots of questions coming out. Okay, what happens with Huke? Does he stay in Call of Duty? Does he go to Halo? Does he go to some other game, right? Like he talked in the off-season after a Dallas Empire went from 5 to 4 players, whether like he was always thinking about stepping away and going to Valorant or something. Probably a little bit too late for that to occur. But Huke obviously did great things over at Halo, so that might be a consideration. But kind of what he's saying here implies that yes, he's still eager to stay around the Call of Duty scene, certainly enjoys the energy of the crowd and whatever, and wants to be back up there on the main stage. Now, will that be with Los Angeles Thieves? That's an interesting question, because we talked about Slasher a couple of days ago, kind of implying he's fighting for his spot to some degree. It's very much up in the air what Los Angeles Thieves decide to do, because I mean, their team has changed so many times so far this season. If they don't make any changes in the off-season, it'll be completely mind-blowing, right? Octane and Kenny, that's obviously been a discussion, whether Slasher could possibly stay, what the SMG duo looks like, whether you do bring back Huke into the team, that is a big question mark, right? And whether he decides to go elsewhere. If you're Thieves, in a way, like it's kind of sunk cost fallacy, but you've paid a lot of money for Huke, you don't really just want to be selling him in this off-season for less than you paid for him, right? That's, you know, from a business perspective, that's pretty painful to do. So maybe they do decide to keep him, but maybe it is the best decision just to ship him off somewhere else. If you know, Florida Mutineers supposedly were interested in Huke when the whole transition was going down from the Dallas Empire to Los Angeles Thieves, so maybe he could go there, team up with Neptune. I'm sure Ogre 2, right, the general manager over there, former, you know, very legendary Halo player, is probably eager to do something along those lines. So who knows exactly what happens, but still pretty cool to see that he is eager at the very least to stay in the competitive Call of Duty scene. Wanted to mention this then from the Clayster side. This is what he says on the 20th of July when the announcement was initially made that Clayster will be stepping out of the subliners team for the time being. Then he jetted off somewhere kind of to recharge his mental, and these last couple of days he's been a little bit more active on social media. So it seems like he's back in action, getting ready to go and kind of watch the major and you know, at least thinking how things are going leading up to the World Championship. There is of course the massive question mark, could Clayster come back into this team? Subliners obviously did not get the result that they wanted at the major right here, and could Clayster be the catalyst to turning things around? Because at the end of the day, Clayster has won the last 2 World Championships. Not attending this year, I'm sure, will be a massive disappointment for Clayster. At the same time, maybe Clay's thinking, alright, this team didn't have that much chance to win, therefore if I go and don't actually win the entire thing, then it breaks my streak. But if I could potentially come back next year with maybe a different organisation on the same on the subliners but a different team, and have a better chance of that, will be a better chance of going back to back to back, even though there's a year out, which maybe doesn't necessarily count to the same degree. But this is what happens on the 23rd of July, right? So Clayster jets off. But these last couple of days he's been more active. We see yesterday this tweet comes out from Rokkr. A wise man's once said, it is never chalked. The wise man, of course, being MajorManiak on the Minnesota Rokkr when they made that absolutely ridiculous comeback in the grand finals. There's 0-4 ultra reverse sweep. Clayster in the replay replies right here talking to Simp. We also get this tweet as well, the discussion on Attach, right? Clayster and Attach, long-time teammates on FaZe Clan, of course. But yeah, accomplishing the first ever Ultra Reverse Sweep, down 0-4 to win 5-4. I told him last night, says Clay, he's a beast for it. The 03, the 04 way back in the day, and now just gotta, get some best of 11 so he can go for the 0-5 comeback as well. So Clayster been a bit more active the last few days. What does this potentially mean for the subliners? Does he want to come back? Because there has been some talk, especially this series right here, where subliners lose out to Los Angeles Thieves, didn't get the placement they wanted at the tournament, they finish out top 8. So of course, going into the World Championship, they're going to have to really find some inspiration if New York want to do significantly better than they were this tourney. And well, does Clayster want to come back? Has he been looking at the crowd and thinking, wow, I'd love to be playing in front of that again, especially at the World Championship? But does the team even want him back? And if they don't, then well, New York subliners management actually put him in regardless.
You see the situation? That's the inexperience, especially when it comes to playing on land with a crowd in the environment.
So you're saying they themselves?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
that's what you're saying without saying. You're saying
come on, y'all. Everyone in this call's been in a situation, a tight ass hard point, going down to the wire. You can't even hear your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Because the crowd's going crazy.
Yeah.
And they just, they might have chill a little bit.
Yeah, they might have. Man, but now listen, man. What do we think about Clay?
Oh God,
I'm not speculating on that, bro. Whatever.
We think. Listen, man. I want to see Clay come back. I want to see everything.
No shot.
If there was any problem, well, that's what I want to see. Because I'm not saying I don't think Diamond Khan lost the team anything. But I don't think he was necessarily winning the team anything. I think Clay could be the blood they need, especially going into champs, the back-to-back world champ. Listen, man, I'm all for it. Nah, but listen, if I'm him and I see that crowd, I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back. Listen, guys, my bad. I f***ed it. I'm back.
They're going into champs with the roster they have now. I'm pretty sure. Pretty confident in that. Okay. Yeah. What? You think they're bringing Clay back?
No, I just don't know.
Okay.
I just didn't know. It was just a genuine question.
Yeah. No. Okay. I personally don't see Clay coming back into this roster. No, I don't.
Okay.
I just don't think. I just feel like they don't even want him. I don't think Clay wants to come back in, and I don't think the team wants him to come back in. I just think that's how it is.
I have a question.
So no doubt the crowd was absolutely crazy this past weekend. Clayster just feeds off the energy of stuff like this, right? You can imagine, I'm sure he was watching this and thinking, wow, just like Huke was, right? Thinking, okay, yeah, I really want to get back in front of this crowd. The problem is, if you are the New York subliners, and well, let's say you're the core 4 of that team, do you actually want to bring Clayster back into the lineup? I think that's not necessarily something you do want to do, but at the same time, like, you've got to say, Clayster on LAN at the World Championship, that is maybe a different beast, and he can potentially bring a team to great heights, right? Because Clayster's that kind of guy that even going into a team like this, where maybe the vibes are kind of chalked or whatever, but it wouldn't take long, I don't think, for Clayster to turn this team around, and maybe if his mindset is fresh and he's not going to be so frustrated and going in with nothing to lose, it could be an option. Obviously, Diamond Con's over there right now, so I guess it'd be Diamond Con out, and then Clayster back into the team. If they were going to make this move, they've got a couple of weeks to consider it at the very least, but at the same time, I think that the vibes on the team and like the chemistry within the squad is pretty much chalked. I don't think that they want to be teaming with Clayster anymore. That's at least my understanding, and that's what Zoomer implies right here as well, so I'm not 100% sure if that will be the case, but at the same time, if the players don't want to play with Clayster, then still, if you're the subliners management, does bringing Clayster in potentially give you the best chance to make some sort of run, because that's what he tends to do at the World Championships, right? We see the last several years, he's won 3 World Championships now, back in Advanced Warfare on ILLey Esports in 2015, then it was, of course, 2019 in Black Ops 4 World Championship, then last year the World Championship was well under Dallas Empire in Modern Warfare, so going for the back-to-back-to-back, the first player to ever do that, it was, I was kind of hoping you would be able to do it right, and I really thought that subliners this season, the way their trajectory was going, that they would have a great chance to do so. They got really good in Stage 3, and you thought, okay, as this team keeps on progressing, like with Hydra and Clayster and Hydra keep on improving and the communication keeps getting better, subliners should continue to be more of a threat towards the end of the season. It doesn't work out like that. They regress significantly, the team effectively collapses, and bringing Clayster back for what might be just a couple of series of champs maybe is too much of a risk, but at the same time, does it give you your best chance to win? Maybe it does, so there's certainly an interesting discussion to be had there behind the scenes. This, of course, is what they will have to face at the playoffs. This is the schedule for day 1 on August the 19th, a couple of weeks from today. Empire play Rokkr first of all in the winners round 1, and then OpTic play the subliners. So this is that kind of series, right, where if it's subliners with their current team, they have that team before, you feel like OpTic should be big favourites. But if you put Clayster into that team against OpTic, like, there's certainly a bigger storyline there and a bigger question mark, and Clayster certainly had a fair few good results against OpTic throughout Call of Duty history. So maybe that's something you consider. I wonder if they will at least at the very least think about it. Of course, this is their bracket. I'm pretty sure if they do lose to OpTic right here, they will go down to play the Mutineers, a team that they've reverse swept 3 times so far this season in majors, and maybe they can do it again at the World Championship, who knows. They've done it with and without Clayster though, right? So maybe they don't really mind too much about that one. But still, like, if you think about it, Subliners, even if they beat OpTic, they've got to play FaZe, and you know, they beat FaZe twice this season with Clay in the team, and haven't managed it without him. So there's definitely still that discussion to be had, I think. But I'm very much intrigued to hear your perspective in the comment section below. Especially, I'll finish up with this clip from Dallas right here, where Shotzzy does this incredible play once again here on Moscow Search and Destroy, which I think is really, really hard to do. We've seen this for a while now, but he keeps pulling this off every single time. But still, the question is there, right, with Crimsix saying not too long ago about Clayster and potentially going back to the Dallas team. That's what they wanted in the middle of the season. Didn't happen, of course. They ended up getting Vivid into the team, and it's probably worked out for them better than it would have done, to be honest, if Clayster was there. But still, question does remain in the off-season when that does hit. What happens with, well, all of these rosters? Rostermania, I'm sure, is going to be very exciting indeed. Intrigued to your thoughts down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Everybody outside the YouTube channel, and I you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Alright, let's see if I can do this, dude. First try, let's go.
Warning. The stunts in this movie were performed by professionals, so for your safety and the protection of those around you, do not attempt any of the stunts you're about to see.
Shotzzy, calm down, brother. Fuck.
Yeah, yo, don't try this shit at home, alright?
Twerked on us.
Yo, don't try this shit at home.